Hello, this is BBL Lab, and today I'm with Jerelle Okoro. So, to start off, explain who you are, what you're doing, I guess your background as well.
My name's, as he said, Jerelle Okoro. Played in the BBL for longer than a lot of people expect.
Yeah.
Because I started at Loughborough, and alongside Loughborough University, I was playing with the Leicester team. Jerelle Okoro from the London Lions used to call me the 5-year rookie. But started at Loughborough, and then worked my way through a few different teams, and now I'm a barber. Well, I've got a barber business, which we're now doing a podcast at.
Yeah. Okay, so you mentioned Loughborough, and obviously that whole program is very renowned for being this program that kind of breeds these top basketball players as we've all seen. So what, playing there from yourself, what was that program like?
So I would like to say I was part of the genesis of that program. So the year I went there, Drew Sullivan, who used to be the GB captain, was head coach of the team and used to play for Leicester Riders. And he recruited me there, and I was there alongside names like Connor Washington, Will Maynard, Mo Anderson, Barry Webster, Sam Lane, and he just constant names of players that were all fairly good. John Stewart, but most of us weren't as serious as we needed to be. So we didn't really hit our full potential, but it was fun there. I had a lot of fun there.
Okay, so then after Loughborough, you moved to the Giants, Manchester Giants. You played, I think it was 3 seasons there, or two and a half. So this hurts me to say this as I'm a Giants fan, but it's kind of renowned at the minute for being a losing team, I guess. What was it like playing on, I guess, a team?
Before we get there, and I know it hurts to say that because when I didn't leave the team, I got kicked off, and rightly so, because my attitude stank. When I left the team, or when I got kicked off the team, I put out a tweet, and I got a lot of backlash for it. Even like a lot of players, London Lions were like, "Joe, you shouldn't have put that tweet out." And I said, it's hard to have a winning mentality at a team with a losing culture. And I think a lot of the problem is that one, we were often, from teams that I've played at, so being in the Leicester Riders program, I saw how they got ready for a game. And it would be like morning gym, training, then video every day. So to go to a team where we would go do video and it would be like, hey guys, this is the video, they ran this play, I think, and I think they ran this play. But guys, don't worry about that, it's about us. You know what I mean? In my head I'm thinking, I don't think they understand how these other teams are scouted against us. Do you know what I mean? Because they know the team's weaknesses, individual players' weaknesses, individual players' strengths, their plays. And then when they go on the court, they'll say, right, you're this player, you're that player, you have to run these plays. You know what I mean? And we just never prepped like that at Manchester Giants. So it was quite frustrating to be at 2 different sides of the spectrum, to have a team where they work in and out for being prepared, and another team where it's pretty much winging it. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so, and then after the Giants, you went to the London Lions, and I can imagine it's a much better program. So what was that like in London? London
was really tough. London was a lot tougher than what people expected. For me personally, I felt like I was on thin ice. Because I got let go from the Giants. So I was like, right, Jerelle, you're on your ass. And I went to the team when they got rid of half their players, so there was a lot of negative speculation going on the team saying, blah blah blah. So it was a bit nerve-wracking, but I was around guys that I loved. It's so crazy. London, my years at London Lions was probably the best years I've ever played basketball. Not because we won quite a lot, because we did. It was because every single person there was like a brother. There was not one person I hated on the team. And and not one person that I felt mutual respect for. Is everyone that I played, everyone that was playing the team, I loved, and it showed when we were on the court. We all played for each other. Training, we played for each other. When we split into 2 different teams, it was like war.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was everyone was playing for so much more. And when we went to games, because the training was so competitive and so hard, games were a breeze. Do you know what I mean? Because we were literally like biting at each other, clawing at each other, going really hard. So when it came to game, no one ever played us as hard than we played ourselves. You know what I mean? So that was amazing. Loved it there. Absolutely loved it there.
Yeah, well, I guess that's why in the 18-19 season you won the league and the BBL Cup. I think.
Yeah.
So how was that feeling? You know, winning the double. I guess. Yeah.
It was amazing. It was amazing because the season before the season I came.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When I first went to him, I was like, "These guys are crazy." Because what they wanted to achieve, I was like, "I don't really think, guys, we can do that." But they said it from the beginning. They were like, "Right, guys, we have to win at least one of our double headers, and we have to do X, Y, Z." And it was basically when I got there, they can only lose around 4 games.
Okay.
And they did, and I was like, "Yo, this is actually happening." But it was amazing to see, and this is what I mean when I say losing culture. They didn't have it. Everyone was so mentally there and had a unified goal that it was just everyone was just on the same page and play. But that season, it was amazing. It came with its challenges, but we had a lot of fun. The teams were great that we were competing against. You know, we had a target on our back. Justin won MVP the season before, so teams are going after Justin as well. It was a great environment. Absolutely fantastic.
He won in that same year
again. Because he's Justin Robinson, obviously.
Yeah. So, am I correct in saying when you were at the Lions, when you made Voodoo, was it the drink?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, by balancing, pro basketball and being, an entrepreneur, what was that? What was that like for you? Training and making a drink.
A lot of people don't know that the drink came about during university.
Okay.
So I used to play for Loughborough Bucks team.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where it had a lot of the BBL guys and the uni guys, but I was like, I'm not really developing here. I don't really feel.
Yeah.
So I used to go night school at Loughborough University for business.
Yeah.
I told Mark Jerome, I was like, listen, man, I'm gonna stop playing Bucks because on Wednesday evenings I had to go training. I was like, I'm gonna stop coming and I'm gonna go night school.
Yeah.
And he was like, but Jerelle, you're a professional athlete.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I understand, but I'm gonna do that. So I made that sacrifice then. And through my experiences at university and the connections I made, I was like, I really want to give a crack at something that I want to do. So initially it was me and Sam.
Oh yeah.
Me and Sam Lane.
Yeah.
So we started the drink together. Initially called Tuice. Tuice.
Yeah.
It used to be called Tea Juice. Teaguice.
Okay.
People used to call it tea grease, so it was really annoying. But me and Sam started it then, and it's just been a battle ever since. I've just constantly. I love like being in control of my time. Being able to be as creative as I want to be, as adventurous as I want to be, because a lot of companies can't do that. So I've always felt it was, for my personality, I need to find my own business. Yeah.
So you mentioned making connections, and something I found with making the podcast and that networking is really important. So for yourself, making the barbers and and the drink as well. How important was networking and kind of knowing the right people, sort of thing.
I think it goes hand in hand with your work ethic.
Yeah.
I think everyone's like, oh, you've got to know the right people for you don't get nowhere, blah blah. But that only gets you so far. It only opens the door slightly.
Oh, just checking. Yeah, we're all good. Yeah.
Awesome.
I was just checking. Yeah, we're all right. Is it this? Yeah, I can call it. Yeah, we're all on. Yeah. Go on.
If it wasn't on.
Yeah.
Is that something you meant to check at the beginning?
yeah. Well, we're all good. Okay, I'll cut that bit out.
I think having the connection only opens the door at a certain space. Yeah. You've got to put your foot in between the door and then kind of squeeze in, and then keep the door open. And then that comes with work ethic and what you're willing to do to get to where you want to get to. But connection wise, I'm quite a friendly person. I'm always talking to people whether they want to talk to me or not. You know what I mean? People can hate me and I'll still hold a conversation with them. But I think it's like I said, it goes hand in hand, having the connections and also having the work ethic to go and do what you want to do.
Yeah. So after the Lions, you went to Essex, I think. D1. Yeah. So how come you decided to go from London Lions to play for Essex Leopards in D1?
So playing basketball is pretty much like trying to run a start-up. There's not much money in the UK. There weren't much money for me, my caliber of a player. Like I wasn't, I'm not Justin Robinson, so I wasn't getting paid, X amount of money. So if I wanted to survive, usually I'd have to work alongside it. So I'd have to play basketball, work alongside it, and then push my start up. And I was like, this is really difficult. So I wanted to put a lot more energy into the drink. I wasn't going to play for a D1 team. I was actually going to play local league.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to travel. I hated traveling. Couldn't stand it. So someone reached out to me, Chuck Duru. He was like, "Yeah, Joel, come over to train." I was like, "Alright, I don't see why not." And I went there, played a bit, and then just kept it going.
Okay. So with the drink as well, I think I remember a couple of years ago, was it the Netflix? The Netflix thing, So, and I think I think I saw it somewhere. Was it fake and it was a marketing ploy or something?
I told Martin on the Heaper's Voice. So,
because I fell for it myself,
Honestly, you'd be shocked who fell for that. It was basically, so I had I was doing the Kickstarter crowdfunding campaign for the drink, and I needed to raise, I think, 10 grand. So I thought initially, I've got enough followers. If they all do this, only a fraction of my followers, I should hit my target. It didn't happen. I was sweating bullets. So I was like, fuck, what am I going to do now? So instead, I was like, right, let me see if I can build the buzz about me and the drink. And then hopefully get the funding for the Kickstarter. So I created the whole Netflix design, marketing designs, and adverts, and everyone bought into it. Went viral. I had the Deliveroo reach out to me, BBC reach out to me. Netflix gave me a cease and desist. Netflix actually reshared the post initially.
Did they?
Netflix UK, which is why a lot of people thought it was real. So I mean, that just goes to, I got to credit my my computer designs for that. But it was a marketing ploy, with a marketing campaign, and luckily through it I hit my target. I still get people today being like, "Yeah, Joel, can I get the documentary, please? I think I missed it on Netflix," and I haven't got the heart to tell them it's not real. I'm like, you know what? They've taken it down. Don't worry, it should be back up again. No, I'm joking. But no, that was an interesting time.
So Voodoo Courts. What was the first of all? How do you come up with the name Voodoo?
I got to give credit to my childhood friend Dean Wonders.
Dean Wonders.
He plays for Surrey this season. Every time, I used to have the worst luck at times, but every now and then I'll pull something off. And Dean would be like, "You know what, Jerelle, that's voodoo. I know you do voodoo. That's definitely voodoo. You can't do that without voodoo." And my thing in life is that I just want people to believe that whatever they put their mind to, they can actually do, no matter how big or small. So it's caught on to me now. Everything do, I usually attribute voodoo to it. So like voodoo drink, voodoo cuts. You know what I mean? So that's how the name came about.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so that's the name, and what was the branding, behind voodoo and voodoo cuts as well?
So for voodoo cuts, it was I chose the fox because 2 reasons. One, because whenever you see a fox, you always see it scavenging, like always hunting, always on the roll. Don't see it resting, and I feel like that's a very big part of my personality. I'm always on the hunt for new venture. But also, I think Fantastic Mr. Fox is like my alter ego. So that's why he's got the top hat. So those are the 2 reasons why I've got the fox with the top hat for voodoo cuts.
Okay. So obviously being an entrepreneur, I guess it's kind of glamorized as being, not dead easy, but you're bound to succeed, and then you'll be living dead, flashing all this. So how hard is being an entrepreneur and starting up as well?
I don't think people like. It makes me laugh because people come to me like, "Oh my God, you got a new business! Oh, amazing! You're doing great!" Blah blah blah. But I've been homeless 3 times, and starting this one, I was homeless again. I had to sacrifice a few relationships. I'm just, money's up and down. There's no comfort point. But you have to find comfort in there not being a comfort point. You have to. It's really weird. You have to lead by faith and kind of say to yourself, you know what? If I can't put the work in, it will get somewhere. But I try not to glamorize it. I really try to be honest with what I'm doing. I'm actually designing a trainer that I'll be selling, where every one that I sell, I'll be giving one to the homeless.
Oh right.
Okay. Because Manchester's,
everywhere you're looking at.
I know. And being homeless, I think people do feel like there's a not really a story behind it, but some people, they go through really tough times. Hopefully this is my way to kind of make the world a better place.
Okay. So voodoo cuts, I had the drink. Are you still doing the drink?
No, I had to put it on pause just because of the markups and just with what's on the plate right now. But hopefully it'll come back very, very soon.
Okay, so with that, and you made a beard oil.
So I didn't make the beard oil.
Okay.
My mentor did, and he's brought me on board.
Okay.
So he's made the beard oil, and then I'm helping him sell it.
So with that, what's next for, I guess, the Voodoo brand and yourself, in the future?
So we've currently just raised funding for the new barber shop, which will be opening in town.
Okay.
And it's going to have a trainer store on the floor above. Which will be selling bespoke trainers, and how to get trainers, exclusive trainers. So it'll be it's going to be another cool vibe. So that's exciting, and hopefully be selling obviously a trainer store upstairs, be selling my own trainer. That's going to be another process, but there's a few things that I can't say now, but there's a lot in the works. A lot in the works. We want Voodoo Cuts to grow around the UK, so that's probably where a lot of my attention and focus is going to be directed towards.
So you started it, was it last year? Well, how long's it been going?
It's been open for like 6 months now.
Yeah.
Had a lot of traction for 6 months, which is pretty cool, because I didn't think I'd be where I am now. I thought I'd have to wait maybe a year and a half, 2 years. But it's grown fairly fast. We've been cutting a lot of influential people, and thank you to them, because they've been sharing the word out, and through word of mouth, just carrying growing, and the snowball's getting bigger and bigger.
So I guess how successful has it been, in this 6 month period? Has it been as successful as you expected? Has it been more, or
When me and my business partner Chaddy, wish he was here, because he's so much energy, man. When we first started out and we'd done the plans down, we said, you know what, we want to cut at least one person a day. That was our target. One person a day. So 7 cuts a week, and we had that down for a year, and now we're hitting. I'm booked out for the day most times. I've got people booking a week in advance. So not where I want to be. but definitely going in some great places, great directions. So I think the fact that we're still open is a testament in itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so COVID, how much of an effect did COVID have on you and Voodoo and your other ventures?
It weren't too bad because we had a lot of our markups were quite low.
Okay.
So our overheads weren't too high. Like the rent here is not that expensive. So we were pretty okay. We were more upset that we were gradually gaining the buzz, and then COVID kind of put it out a hole.
Yeah.
So that was painful because we don't have. As you know, this is a mill, top floor, so we don't have a storefront where people can walk past and see.
Yeah.
So all of ours is done through word of mouth and Instagram, social media marketing. So that was a bit painful, but other than that, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You not expect Corona, but you expect to go through tough times.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You just got to work through it.
Yeah. Well, I guess going through it at the start can be a positive in the sense that you learn from it and
exactly,
that kind of thing. So,
yeah, definitely.
So moving on to questions that have been sent in. One's from Isaac. I think he runs an Instagram page as well. He's asked what made you become a barber.
I think there was a lot of pain points with. So I started after the first lockdown, and I reached out to my barber. I moved to Manchester. I reached to my barber, and I was like, "Hey, big man, I need a haircut." So he ignored my message for 3 weeks. Then when he got back to me, he said, "Yeah, the next appointment is in 3 weeks."
Yeah.
And I was like, 6 weeks? You're gonna make me wait 6 weeks for a haircut and charge me £50?
Yeah,
I was like, nah, no way. So I was like, enough's enough. I've hated the barber since I was a kid. So I was like, right, okay, let me do my own barbers and get rid of all the pain points that I know some of the people have. Hence why we have the subscription system. Cashless payments. Like, just ways that we can get around some of the problems that I had from the barber. Going to the barber, sorry.
Yeah. Am I correct in saying you moved to Manchester last year? Yeah. What? How come you moved to Manchester from London?
So again, it was more so the overhead. So I was in London and traveling. I used to be a PT.
Okay.
So I was traveling to work, and then trying to run the business. But a lot of my money was going on travel, rent, and I was like, this isn't going to work for me.
Yeah.
Especially if I wanted to invest most of around 6% of my money or 8% of my money towards the business. So I was like, I need to go somewhere where I know I can do that. Be Manchester ready, so I was like, take me there.
Yeah.
Kick my heels twice.
Okay, so the ghost of Frank, I think it's Frank Castle, has asked.
Oh yeah, Andy Hambleton.
Yeah.
Use his government name, Andy Hambleton.
Okay. He's asked, what secret stuff did you put in your spaghetti bolognese because it wasn't just honey?
You know what? Yeah. So Andy and Sam. So Andy, Sam, and Swift, Ayunde. We were all at Loughborough together.
Yeah.
And we were all hellraisers. we were probably the worst people you could put together.
Yeah.
We were throwing the biggest parties. We were always in trouble, always up to no good. But we worked really hard when it came to basketball.
Yeah.
And we literally lived on spaghetti bolognese. And I will never tell him my secret recipe.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
So for now, we'll just say honey. Honey is definitely an ingredient in there.
Okay, so is it Martin and for...
Martin, yeah.
That's the one, yeah. So what did you learn in basketball that you can apply to your business?
I think the biggest lesson I learned with basketball would be sometimes I have to get out of my own way. I'm a lot of the time I was very stubborn. Yeah. I still have that trait now, but I've got to pick my battles, and I think a lot of the time I was my own biggest problem when it came to basketball. Yeah. And I'm trying to deal with that now and make sure that's not something that's holding me back with growth.
Okay, so that's it. It's been a good conversation and interesting conversation. Thanks for the haircut as well.
Great, big man.
So thank you.
Thank you, big man. Thanks for having me. Love what you do, man. Keep it up, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you for the podcast, guys. Love you. If you want to come get a haircut.
Yeah, plug. Well, where they can find you.
Yeah. Ancoats, voodoocuts.com. Make sure you put in the comments that you've come from the podcast so I can charge you double.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming here and hearing my story, bro.
Yeah, appreciate you coming on and telling the people. So yeah,
definitely, man. Thanks again.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah? Was that good?
Yeah, it was 25 minutes.